Hello, everyone. Good morning or good afternoon, depending on when you're listening to me. Sorry if I sound a little bit congested. Yesterday was a very rough day. My body was fighting. It's still fighting a little bit, but yesterday it was fighting something. My throat hurt a lot. So I have to tell you, I drank a lot of tea with everything that I have here in my house. And so far so good. I still feel a little bit tired, but thank God of the natural remedies that he provides. It only lasted, the really bad part only lasted 1 day. So that's why I apologize if I sound a little bit congested. And that's why yesterday there was no video because I didn't feel like recording. You can only imagine, right? Now, today, if you're new here, we are reading the book of the Word Before Work of Jordan Raynor. And basically, what this is bringing God to our lives, to our work, not getting ourselves out of our lives to go to God. So it's learning every single day a little bit to bring God to our lives. And when they say work, sometimes we always think about actually going to an office or an actual work where we get paid, but we are stay at home moms. We have our a job to do too. We have work. It's not paid necessarily every 2 weeks or every 15 and 30, but it is a job, it is a work that we have to bring God to this job, to this work, especially us, because it affects directly to our children, our spouse, our whole family, and ourselves as well. So today it is Friday of the week 1, and I'm going to be reading Mark 6:3. Isn't this the carpenter? Isn't this Mary's son and the brother of James, Joseph, Judas, and Simon? Now, Mr. Raynor says, for approximately 80% of his adult life, Jesus wasn't preaching. He was working as a carpenter. Given Jesus' ultimate purpose, this truth should stop us in our track. God could have placed Jesus in a priestly household like that of John the Baptist, or in the home of a Pharisee like Paul. Instead, Jesus grew up in the household of a carpenter, doing work that looked very similar to the work you and I do today. I think Jesus' vocation is meant to remind us that even after the fall, work is still inherently good. I think God is pointing us back to Genesis to remind us that He is a God who creates things for others, just like a carpenter. I think He's saying your work that others call secular is crucial to my kingdom building project. Jesus reaffirmed this when He called His disciples. Given that His ministry was about preaching the gospel of the kingdom, you can read that at Matthew 24:14. You might expect Jesus to enlist the help of Pharisees and other religious professionals, but instead he called fishermen and tax collectors. If you work outside the four walls of a church, be encouraged by Jesus' frequent reminder that your current work can be part of cultivating the kingdom. How? I'll answer that question directly in the third week of this devotional. But first, we need to get to the cross and the rest of the biblical narrative about work. When I when I was growing up, I grew up in a Catholic school, a Catholic environment, and definitely I grew up thinking that if I don't go to church, I can't meet God. If I don't do certain rituals, certain things, I am not worthy of being in the presence of God. And that is totally wrong. Yes, we have to respect and fear Him. And the same way we get pretty and, we put ourselves together to meet someone special or to get a new job or to meet our spouses for dinner. The same thing we have to do with God, right? Because He's more important than that. But God will find you wherever you are. It doesn't matter. He will be there if you have a heart for Him. That's what Jesus came to say. Because God talked through a lot of prophets so many times, and people didn't understand. But when He was like, well, you know what? My son will go. That's what He came to say. We just need to look for Him and bring Him to our lives. If there is something that we need to change, oh, you have to rest assured that He will put that desire in your heart and you will change it. If He eventually wants you to be preaching in a church, you'll do it because you have that burning desire in your heart. But most likely, the majority of us, we're not going to preach in a church. We're going to preach in a work environment. What is the most beautiful thing to see that having a secular job where everyone is just focused on their own thing and there's one person that shines bright like a diamond because that person has God in him all the time. That's how I met God in my late 20s, I have to tell you. It was late 20s or early 30s. I think it was early 30s. And I'll tell you that story another day. But I met God in a very secular place where I never thought I was going to find it. But there was this person that there was something about him. And it was not that I was attracted physically or nothing. It was just like, man, what is this thing that you have? That's what we need to do. We need to bring God to our work and He'll do His thing because He is the best at doing His thing. Well, I really hope you have an amazing weekend, blessed weekend with your family. Go enjoy. It's getting a little bit warmer where I live, a little bit too warm for my taste, but maybe you live up north and the weather is better. Go outside, enjoy the nature, enjoy all the gifts that God had given us. Enjoy your family, enjoy your pets, enjoy your friends. And I'll see you on Monday. God bless.